Welcome to the Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast, bringing you the country's top podcast on the subject of internet marketing, with your hosts Glenn Thayer and the CEO of Intuitive Websites, Thomas Young.
Welcome back, folks. As we always say, if you want us to review your website, go ahead and submit it, and we have another one to review. Today we are going to review minimegeology.com. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about this site?
Well, the website is a website for kids where they can purchase geology materials, rocks and minerals and fossils and things like that. And other than that, I don't know much about the site, and we're going to actually review it together, Glenn, in the podcast, and kind of determine how effective is this site at meeting its strategy, and how effective is the site at marketing and in bringing a return to the website owner. We can actually show you the site here on Google Hangouts as we talk.
Well, why don't we just bring up the site right now, and then we can kind of take a look here. We can kind of go through what we have for
sure. So
show the viewers what we've got here.
This is the website, and of course, I encourage you guys to go look at it as well on your own browsers and computers. So the first impression of the site for me is that it's obviously for kids. It's something for kids, and then it's rocks and minerals for kids. And in fact, I just read that line wrong. Rocks and minerals for
and
kids
fossils.
of all ages. But it's rocks and mineral kits for all ages, not rocks and mineral kids for all ages. So, and it's got the kid design.
Right.
Kid-friendly design, which is pretty obvious. What we have to figure out is, well, why would my kids want this? Is this for kids that just have an interest in this stuff, or is it for the classroom? Is this for what they need in the classroom to learn about geology? And so, the other part of it, is it an e-commerce site? Is it a content-only site? There is a video down here from from somebody with the company. I'm not sure who that is. And, the thing about videos on the web is most people don't play videos. Most people actually still want to click and find their information, and they want to read. So, if we scroll through the rest of the site, then I can kind of see why there's quite a bit of information here. Quite a bit of social media going on as well. It's interesting. I don't know what that first social media thing is. I can't read it. I don't know if you can read it,
I'm not
Glenn,
sure.
but
Crystal Cave Adventures.
Okay.
Is what that is.
I have a pretty big monitor, and to me, it's impossible to read. But so that's the initial overview of the site. And keep in mind, people only spend about 15 to 30 seconds evaluating the home page. So if they don't see something that gets them somewhat excited in just the first 15 to 20 seconds, they're going to go. The biggest thing you can do to get people excited and engaged on a website like this is photography of your products, and it has to be excellent photography that has some kind of wow and awe to it. The better you can do that, the more you'll pull people in. And my guess is that this site would be great to have a picture of kids or a kid enjoying the product. And we'll want to step up that photography to get that wow impact on this site. In fact, you actually might spend more money and time on photography for this website than you did on the design of the site, because that photography is going to pull in those new people, new users.
Well, let me ask you a question, Tom, as far as video is concerned, because video is huge. I know if the video is short enough, me personally, I would prefer to watch a video. That's just me personally. So if I have a quick enough video, but my tolerance for a website video, it may be 30 seconds. If it says but I have to get some value out of it, and definitely not one of those that comes on that's an autoplay. And I know there's a lot of people that a couple of years back, that was all the rage. You go to a website, and what do you see? You see, here's the video that plays, or a walk-on video, and it's almost impossible to stop it. Now, I know on the video on this homepage here, you have to click it to start it. But I wonder if there's anything else we can do video-wise, especially if you want to attract kids. That would be the other question is, who's your target audience? Are you looking for adults to come in and purchase for their kids, or do you want to get the kids excited about it? I mean, I kind of think of it like the cereal aisle at the grocery store. My kids go in there. It's like, Dad, can I get one of these? Can I get one of these? Can I get one of these? I guess we're kind of looking at the target market, and it might be dual or triple purpose. I know you mentioned before,
right.
Is this for educators? Is it for the classroom? Is it for kids, or is it for parents to buy for their kids? I think that's something, another question that we need to answer.
And it's interesting too because it's great that between the two of us we have quite a few kids. So, and we've seen the process of what kids are like, and kids gravitate to things that interest them. And so this site, any kid that has an interest in geology would love this website. And if the parents have an interest in geology and they're building that interest in their kids, same thing. But what you said about a brief video would be excellent. Now,
there's something else, and I know I'm going to step on you for a quick moment here as
go
far as
ahead.
video, and this is where video comes in handy. And I'm just going for my son. He's 8, and he comes to me with videos that he's seen on YouTube. Now, this is aside from the website, but this is, I think, really, really important, especially for this website, is to do short videos that are targeted for kids. And you might even have, somebody who's maybe one of the people who work at the company, maybe one of their kids can do it. The example I use is EvanTube HD. If you haven't seen that, you want to know of a really great YouTube channel that is run by a kid. It's Evan, EVAN, Tube, TUBE, HD. That's his YouTube handle. Go to his site and check out what he's got going on, because I will tell you almost every day, invariably, my kid will come up with his iPad and he goes, "Dad, this is what I want to do." He's like, "I want this product." He does product reviews. He goes to Legoland.
Interesting.
He goes and does these things, and it's all on the YouTube channel. My son doesn't go to websites. He could care less about a website. But I'll tell you what, if it's on YouTube and it's something he's interested in, he will watch it all day long. So that may be another source of where social media can really be used to push sales into the website.
It's a great point, and you made several great points there about the target market, understanding the target market. I remember when I was a kid, it was always great to see a TV show with kids my age in it. For some reason, that was just really appealing because it's like they understood my world, right?
Well, Sesame Street, Romper Room, all of
That's
those
right.
things that we grew up with, that's something that was normal, and that's really, it was like, oh, these are kids just like me. Oh, well, if they like it, maybe I should be looking at this.
Yeah, and like the idea of a spokesperson, that's a kid spokesperson that talks about the products and how they use them and the fun that they have with them, and featuring that person in video, it's an excellent idea. And I think that the other excellent idea is to keep the videos brief, but you can do both. In fact, you could have 3-hour videos on your website. Just keep in mind that most people will watch the smaller, shorter videos first and then gravitate to more content as their interest builds and they have more of a connection with your website. So the stuff that we're talking about right now is for the new visitor to build engagement, because you want to build engagement to your website because they're not going to buy anything unless they have some initial interest. So step one is engagement. I think the site can do more on that side with the videos we just discussed, and also excellent photography that pulls people in.
Some of the other things you're talking about, the photography, is down below on the website. If you go down towards the bottom, right underneath all the social media links, it'll say, "Dig into geology. Science is fun. Learn about rocks and fossils and play games." I mean, that might be something from a headline standpoint. If you're looking at that, science is fun. You've got the kids, you've got the photography, and you're showing them the reasons why it's fun.
Yes, and on a website like this, once they decide, yeah, this is for me, it looks fun, it's for me, then they're going to start the shopping process. They may do a little bit of an evaluation about your company, who you are, and can I trust you? But for the most part, they're going to start looking for products. And the products that get the most clicks are the ones at the top or the ones at the left, because this is the part of the website where we start, is near the logo in the upper left. So I'm going to click through on Deluxe Rock and Mineral Kits. And this is actually good. You want to have thumbnail pictures of your products. These pictures show me that it's a kit. I can't see the products in detail, but I'm going to click through and say that the Colossal Rock and Mineral Kit is where I want to start. So once again, photography is going to be key to selling this. And I like the idea. I mean, this is packaging and this is great, but we want to see these minerals. We want to see them shine. And if possible, we want to see kids looking at them and using them, learning from them.
And the biggest thing that's going on right now, and this is for me personally when I'm shopping online, taking a hint from the Amazons, from the REI.com, things like that. If I have a picture of something, I want to be able to get a close-up of what it looks like. So if I want to know specifically what's in the kit, it looks like the Colossal Rock and Mineral Kit has 4 sheets on the back. Well, what are those sheets? What information is on those sheets? I know that it looks like we have some of those posted here, but just being able to see what's going on and being able to see a close-up of each of the items, I know that's really, really, really big for me personally when I'm shopping.
Yes, and I think that basically what you're talking about is the concept of the shopping online is just like shopping offline. We need to see that information. We need to see that photography. We need to be sold to a certain degree to move forward. Now, there are other product categories here. I'm curious just to see if the minerals looks like it does have individual shots. The quality of the photography is okay. I'm sure there's an art to shooting photography of minerals, so you really see the shine and you really see what it looks like. I have a feeling that these minerals are much more powerful looking in person than they are here. We can look at fossils and take a, what would be an interesting addition to the fossils is to see a picture or a rendering of what this thing looked like, because
Right.
the kids are like, oh, that came from the tooth of a shark. What did the shark look like that tooth came from? You could add that in here. And if you started adding more stuff in some of these thumbnails, you may want to go with vertical thumbnails. But let's click through on the shark teeth. Yeah, so this would be a great place. These came from the tooth of this shark, and this is what it looked like, and it would eat you up if you were in the water next to it. The kids would love that.
Exactly.
So if we
swallow you whole.
If we click through, let's go ahead and do the process here. You can see the quantity. Let's add that cart. Now, here's something that we see in e-commerce sites. For the most part, I want to see a verification of what just happened. Because some users, not all users, and users getting better, but some users will not think that anything happened. And they will try to wonder, well, what went on? I just wanted to buy that, and now it's not there. So we recommend at least a pop-up of the shopping cart. So when I click add, I can see some kind of a summary running. So I know that, oh yeah, I'm interacting with the website. It is responding to my need to buy this. Now in this case, let's say we're going to go and shop and go to the shopping cart and start looking at completing our purchase. So I can see that this is pretty straightforward. It's great that you have the photo there. You have the price. Now I'm going to be wondering what the shipping is because we're shipping rocks.
Yep.
So we're literally putting rocks in the mail here, and we want to figure out what the cost is going to be. So I'll put in my zip code and calculate shipping. Shipping $13.99, but there's some options. I can get it quick if I want. So now what goes through the mind of the website user is the only thing really that goes through their mind, is this a fair price? Is the shipping and handling a fair price at $13.99? Now, the best way to not have that go through their mind is to offer free shipping. Because if you offer free shipping, then they don't have to evaluate if you're ripping them off with the shipping and handling, which is what people do.
This is going to be, you and I are going to have a podcast on this and have some other folks chime in here, because this is a big debate that's going on right now as far as shipping's concerned, because there's a free shipping option over a certain amount. So you got to purchase a certain amount for free shipping, because otherwise what it does is it eats into the profit. That's a big change.
Absolutely.
One thing that a lot of people that have noticed, those that are Amazon Prime subscribers will notice that your Amazon Prime subscription has gone up. Almost, I think it's $99 now.
It did increase. It increased, I think,
it
yeah.
increased because of shipping, because they can't compete on shipping. And you'll find that businesses right now, a lot of e-commerce businesses, are dealing with that whole dilemma. Do we offer free shipping? Because at the end of the day, they're going to look at the shopping cart and say, is this a fair total price? There's a lot of times you can offer a really cheap price on a product and compete with an Amazon, a Walmart, or something to that effect online. But when it comes down to it, once you add shipping into it, you're no longer competitive.
And I think that in this case, and I would have to talk with the website owner in more detail, but in this case, I would try to build shipping into the product price. Because if you look at this total here, it's $13.99, $14 for shipping and handling. So we want to try to get, let's say, another $7 to $8 into this price here. I don't know if that's going to deter people from buying this if it goes from 78 to say 85. But with free shipping.
And see, that's the question is going into it. I mean, I threw in the white streak plate into the shopping cart. And when I put that in there, the price of the white streak plate was $3. Shipping is $6.99. So that now makes the total for $9.99. So the question that I have is, can I get this at a store that's local to me? Is it possible to get something there where I could buy more, or is it going to be better to go all the way and say, what else is around me, or can I do a bulk shipping? Is it bulk? Once again, like you said, the challenge here is I don't know any other geology companies that ship rocks or fossils or any of that, and I think shipping is going to be the biggest deterrent and biggest challenge they have because of the weight issue.
And it's important to note that shipping is not based on the facts. Shipping's based on the emotions of buying. So if someone's going to buy a product for $5 and pay $10 to ship it, most people will bail on that, and not because they're not thinking through the shipping costs. It just doesn't seem fair to them. But they will pay $15 for the product with free shipping. It's just an interesting way that people view this. Now, it's not a 10 out of 10 rule, but you want to get as many people as you can to move forward. And absolutely what Glenn is saying is true. Free shipping will help move people forward. And we can go back to the site and let's see if I can complete a little bit more of the checkout process, which is such a big issue with e-commerce websites and really makes a big difference. So once we have this in our cart, and I feel like, okay, well, the shipping's not too bad. It is a different example from what Glenn mentioned. It is, it's $92, $14 for shipping. Let's go check out now. And I'm looking at the domain name, and I can see that we went to this place called mimosa.secure data host. So that tells me that we've gone to a different server. We're not on the Mini-Me server anymore, but they're probably using a third-party company to do this. And this is great. I can go ahead and purchase, it looks like. I don't have to set up an account. That's great. Now, if I wanted to set up an account, how would I do that? If I wanted to come back here. That's what users are thinking at this page. Okay, if I put this in, do I have to set up a password? And if I don't want to do that, how do I not do it? How do I avoid it? And if I want to get it done, how do I do it?
The other question as far as logging in, do you really need to log in? For myself, when I'm purchasing something from a website, I really want to go as guest most of the time. I mean, the only
I would
exception
agree.
to the real to that rule is Amazon, where I have an Amazon Prime membership. So that's just a no-brainer to log in. But most of the time, I don't want to log in. And
Right.
I think a lot of websites and a lot of users feel the same way. However, the biggest challenge is what I would really like to know is how much repeat business. And once again, this is really a conversation for the website owner: is how much repeat business are you getting onto the website? How many repeat customers do you see, and how is that tracked? Because I think that's the other thing, is logging in, you can track that. I'm not familiar as much on the back end of things as well.
This is an example of a site that's going in the opposite direction. It doesn't look like you can log in. So if you were a repeat customer, it would be a little bit more challenging unless you could somehow save this information. Now, I think the idea of a subscription-based product where you get the mineral of the month or the fossil of the month or whatever, that might be a good idea because that will build that residual income. And I also think that an email list would be very important. And there is an email sign up. It's down here. Actually, where did it go?
It's right at the very, very bottom, but before continue checkout.
Oh, yeah. So if they click, see, I would go ahead and make this a default. They would have to unclick it to not be on your email list. For the most part, we want to assume that if people are buying from you, they're okay hearing from you, unless they don't want that. And then give them the option to
opt out, but automatically make it an opt-in.
Yeah, and have an email subscribe on all pages. So I know I saw an email subscribe somewhere. There it is. This email subscribe should be up at the top. And I don't know, you could play around with this, but you might want to put it at the top of your product list as well. Because I think building an email list is great because this is the kind of thing that can be, it's a repeat type gift. It's a gift you can get for people on a regular basis. But the emails help remind folks that you're out there and they can come back to you.
You can also push out the other thing with the e-list too. You can really branch out with your social media channels as well. Since more people are going in the social media realm, utilizing YouTube, utilizing Facebook,
and
utilizing Pinterest, utilizing those things.
The links are gone. Once you're inside the site, I don't see the links to the social media. That also should be static on your page. But I did see links on the home page. and there they are. So those should be static, and we can quickly click through the Facebook page here. I will do I'm looking at the Facebook page, and it actually looks pretty interesting. I can go back and we can share the Facebook page. Let's see if I can find it here in the. There we go. So the Facebook page actually looks pretty good. Pretty dynamic page. The photos on the Facebook page in some ways are better than the photos on the website. Interesting, which would leads me to believe, are you getting more sales from Facebook or more referrals from Facebook? I don't know, but I like the Facebook page. I like the big photography. It has more energy and excitement around it. Let's make it real easy to click through to your website from the Facebook page.
The other question that I have on Facebook, so we go to the Facebook page and they say, who am I? I am an intrusive igneous rock with mostly feldspar, pyroxene, and hornblende. And I could be totally destroying those. I am not a geologist, so I'll point that out right off the bat. But looking there, it says, who am I? My question is, if I answer that, I'm the first person to answer it, I get it correct, what do I get?
That's a great point.
Do I get something as as somebody who answered the question? What do I get? Do I get a 10% off coupon to use? Do I get? What types of things do I get? Do I get a social media badge? Do I get something? I'm not sure on that, but if there's something associated with it, I think with this website and with minimegeology.com, I think it's going to be imperative really to have a really big social media interaction and presence to work back and forth, to always link it back to the website, link
Absolutely.
to YouTube, link to Facebook. But once again, that's going to be more of a question for the owners, is how much business are they transacting through Facebook? And I really mean that is, how are they getting conversions from Facebook onto the website?
Absolutely. And when you do click through that link, you do end up on the website product page. You can see here on my screen. And so basically it's not forwarding you to an interaction or a way to build community. It's going right to the sale. And that's, Facebook is very strong at that. That's a big part of Facebook, is building community and interacting with people. So, that would be a great thing to do, is to have people respond to, who am I and where did I come from and things like that, and then post them on Facebook and start that discussion.
So let's wrap up. Do you have any last-minute comments or anything that you've seen that were outstanding?
Well, I've got several notes that we made. What I'm going to do is, on our blog, when we post this podcast, I'm going to put a list of action items for the owner of the website, and I've also been in touch with her, so I'll send her an email. But just as a summary, we want brief videos, excellent photography. We want to see a very clear message as far as who the market is. And I did see a market for wholesale sales as well. So there's something there for maybe schools. We need to focus on the needs of kids and their parents that are enthusiasts in this area. And the first way to focus on those needs is through photography and other media. The second way is through content and description and product photos, detailed product photos. We mentioned a couple things on the add to cart. We mentioned a couple things about free shipping and how that works. And definitely, I think the idea that Glenn had of going to YouTube and looking at YouTube videos by kids for kids is going to be a great strategy as well.
And that's EvanTube HD is the username on YouTube.
Yeah, check that out, and I bet you'll find a whole other. You might even find geology videos, on YouTube that get a lot of views, and you can partner with them. And there's lots of opportunities.
Well, I think that's all that we have today, folks. And remember, if you want your website reviewed as well, make sure you shoot us an email at info@intuitivewebsites.com, and we'll look at getting yours reviewed as well. Thanks again for joining us.
This has been an Intuitive Websites Internet Marketing Podcast. For more information and to see all the available podcasts and much more, visit intuitiveblog.com. If you have a website you would like us to review or an issue you would like to see covered in future podcasts, email us at info@intuitivewebsites.com.